So I just want to do a quick video and a comparison between my Apple Watch Series 4 and my Whoop Strap 3.0 and how it measured the calories burned on the couple mile run I just did, because I don't think that there's fair comparisons out there, and I think what it boils down to is a misunderstanding of how these devices work. If you look on the back of your fitness tracker, you're going to see LEDs, and what it's doing is something called PPG, and the long word I can't pronounce. I'll just put it at the bottom of the screen and you can try to pronounce it. But what it does is it doesn't actually measure your heart rate, it measures the blood flow in the skin. I just did a couple mile run. The Apple Watch measured total calories at 322 with an average heart rate of 149. And then if I go over to my Whoop Strap, I can see that the calories is 317, average heart rate 149 compared to the 154 on the Whoop. So what you can see there is that they're basically the same. Now, another way that these devices work is that they use things called metabolic equivalents, and it'll take your heart rate related to the task that you inputted and then determine what your caloric burn is. Fitness trackers aren't necessarily the most accurate thing. They've been shown to be as inaccurate up to 70%. I would say the devices are getting much closer to actual readings. And also, the accelerometers in these devices are what helps determine the caloric burn between the two as well. So when you're doing consistent movements like running, that's going to give you a more fair comparison. Now, there's also a ton of other variables too, like I wore my Apple Watch on my left wrist versus the right wrist with my Whoop Strap. Is my swing different with my left arm than my right arm? Is my skin cleaner? Are the readings going to be accurate because that I cleaned off the back of the devices? There's skin tone. There's a whole bunch of things that can really throw off the readings when you're doing a comparison. And they're less accurate when you're doing things like CrossFit or playing a sport because of all the sporadic movements, and it's trying to figure out exactly what's an activity versus what isn't. So between those two readings, they're pretty damn close, and they're going to give you a reading that's good enough. Now, the Apple Watch, and I did a YouTube video on this, is considered the most accurate caloric tracker out there. But again, it's not something you should depend on to be like, okay, this is how many calories I've burned day to day. What you should do instead, and what I like, is using something like Strain to measure my cardiovascular load, which is a feature of the Whoop Strap, and why I focus more on that than how many calories I burned in a day. So if you like this, you want more long form, and you haven't subscribed to my channel, go check that out. And if this is on YouTube and you haven't followed me on Instagram, go ahead and do that there.